Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Road to Resilience with your coach, your counselor, and your mentor, Teresa Marie. Now, these shows will be very educational, entertaining, and enlightening for those of you who want to up-level in any area of your life, whether it be in your relationships, your career, your finances, your health. We're going to be covering all of those as we go on. Each episode, I'll have specific guests on my show who have specific areas of interest or expertise. I'll be doing some solo shows where I'll just be sharing with you some things that I've learned on the way. And hopefully you'll learn a little bit, you'll get uplifted, and you'll be introduced to people who may be doing the same thing that you want to do, or you are doing, or you have done, and how to learn and to grow and invest and be the best you that you can be. I believe that resilience is the ability to overcome challenges with a mental toughness. It is extremely significant for those who have been through trauma, a series of hardships, if you've been a victim or a survivor of abuse, if you had to accept significant difficulties and learn to move forward. Being resilient means having the ability to cope with whatever life throws at you and to come out of it stronger than ever, with the ability to deal with life's ups and downs. The question for the day is, are some people naturally resilient? Some scientists will say that they believe that we all have a genetic variant known as a mutation in a single gene. These conditions can be inherited, which means it is possible for resiliency to run in families. I'm just wondering if it's something learned from those that you watch and are influenced by at an early age, maybe by the time you're 2 or 3 or 4 or 8 or 9 or 10. So could it be something that you're born with or something that you learn from your early caregivers and influencers? And what happens to those who go through significant challenges, setbacks, and adversities and aren't resilient? They don't learn the meaning of the word resilience. It's an important topic to talk about and an important question to ask, because for those of you who have children, you may be experiencing significant challenges, setbacks, and adversities now with this pandemic. What are your children seeing? Are they seeing you be resilient? Are you surviving and thriving? Or are you in a chronic state of worry and anxiety? And are you projecting those fears and anxieties onto your children? We've seen many children who have grown up in horrible situations and have rose to the top of the list and become successful and giants in our community, in our world. And we've seen people grew up with no significant issues per se and have become self-sabotagers and train wrecks. Now, resilience doesn't make your difficulties disappear. It just means you can get past them. I believe that resilience is a skill and it is a muscle and it is to be stretched. It is a learned behavior, and it is powerful. In my opinion, I believe there's nothing as powerful in us as a human being as the ability to be resilient. Now, there was a book called Man's Search for Meaning, which I highly recommend. It is an amazing book about resilience and survival and perseverance during the Holocaust. Viktor Frankl wrote the book. He was a neurologist, psychiatrist, and a Holocaust survivor. He founded a very significant component to psychotherapy called logotherapy. It was a mixture of Freud's psychoanalysis models and Adler's psychology models. Now, he believed that all people could survive and thrive if they had the will to survive and when they found the meaning of their life. Now, he was a psychologist, and he was even in a concentration camp. He was in a Jewish concentration camp under the Nazis. Now, Viktor Frankl, even though he was in the concentration camp, he understood what was going on in people's minds. And he started noticing a pattern over and over of prisoners that were being brought into the camp. Some of the prisoners had been locked up for many years, and some of them had just been picked off the streets and rounded up. Many of them were not fed, they had absolutely no care given to them, and they were described as the walking dead. Now, he had noticed that those who were in the camps for 3 or 4 years, and some of those who had just been picked up for 90 days, some were walking healthy, some he saw over and over again. And over the years, he noticed that the person who got off the train emaciated looked like the same people who had been there for years. The vast majority outlasted the healthy people just getting picked up. And he kept saying it over and over again, that people had the ability to survive. So he started interviewing people, and he would ask them, how are you making it? How are you doing this? How are you staying strong? And each one he interviewed had a different reason. But here's the thing, what he noticed, that those who had a strong enough resilience and who had an internal feeling of why they could endure anything that was thrown at them. They knew that there was a meaning to their life. They knew that they were here for a reason. And that kept them strong. In other words, maybe they had that inner resilience already downloaded into their mental DNA. The point is that you can endure and survive anything. For some, it was they wanted to see their family again. For some, they wanted to get back to their job. For some, they wanted to see their spouse. For some, they felt that there was an important job that God had given them to do on this earth, and they wanted to complete that job. The fact of the matter is that the strong were able to endure anything that was thrown at them. Now let me ask you, when have you had to make a decision? And how did it benefit you? What decisions do you need to make now? What decisions do you need to make to teach you to stay in the game? Who are the people, places, and things that you need to align with right now? And who are the people, places, and things that you need to disassociate yourself with? Are you able to make up your mind this very hour? Are you able to make the decisions and do what you need to do? Perhaps you need to align yourself with those who share your same core values and those who are going where you want to go. Or who are already where you want to be, and you know that you need to learn from them. The point is that resiliency, whether it's in you at birth, whether it's a learned behavior from what you've seen and those who were your early influencers, or perhaps you've learned resilience by what you've suffered. No matter what, remember that you have what's in you called resilience to get through anything. What are the desires of your heart? Can you do a little assessment and go deep inside yourself? What is it that you truly want out of this life? Now, where have you experienced and tapped into your own resilience in the past? What were the benefits of that? Okay, so today, maybe today's the day that you're going to tap into who you know you are, or who you know you can become. Here's the good news. You're not alone. I'm not the only one who has been through significant challenges, setbacks, and adversities. You're not the only one who has had significant challenges, setbacks, and adversities. But remember, there's a whole army of people out there that want to help you. Lots of people have been with me on my journey. There were those who fought for me through the tough times, those who helped me fight through the difficult, challenging times. Think of what you've endured during this pandemic. Maybe your best friend died, or a loved one passed away. Maybe you lost your source of income. Maybe you got laid off. I want to encourage you that I've made up my mind and tapped into that inner resilience. I strengthened my muscle of resilience pretty much through what I was suffering. But I've been blessed in my life as a result of not quitting, finding that resilience. But I didn't do it by myself, and I don't do life by myself today. It's just too hard to go it alone. You got to lean into the help that's out there. Now, it doesn't mean you won't have doubts. It doesn't mean that other people won't try to deter you from reaching your desired level of success or fulfilling your dreams. But you got to shake it off. People who don't have resilience want to convince you that you won't make it, you're not good enough, and a whole bunch of other crap. You'll find more doubters than supporters. And you'll find people who will question your capabilities and try to discourage you. Look, make up your mind to keep going and don't stop. It's an investment. It's an investment for personal and professional development in order to find that inner strength, in order to tap into that resilience. But you get what you pay for. What do you want out of life? What successes do you want to see in your life? And what are you willing to sacrifice for those successes, for those wins? What is your inner worth? Go for it. There's no time like the present. Don't waste another moment trying to reach your goals and live the life you were created to live. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I got to be honest with you. I never thought I would end up doing a podcast. I never even thought about it until someone approached me and said, you really need to use your voice and podcast. It's a great way to get your message out there and add value to so many more people who may not necessarily be able to drive to your office or meet you in person. So I hope that you found value today. Maybe you need a coach or a therapist to help you with the cobwebs in your mind, or to help you build and strengthen that mental muscle of resilience. I do believe in the power of resilience. I know what it's done for my life to help me live a good life. I love the work that I do with families and businesses. I love the companies I've built. My grandchildren are my inspiration. My husband of 20-some years and my good friends and loved ones inspire me and motivate me. I get the privilege to help so many, and if I can ever be of help to you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on all of my social media platforms. And if you would like to be a guest on my podcast or have me as a guest on your show, I would be more than happy to chat with you about some dates and times to get together on any of your social media platforms. I'm Teresa Marie, and I wish you peace, health, wealth, and lots of love. In closing, I would just like to say thank you so much for being with me here today. We've all been through so many challenges in the past couple of years that I just hope that hanging out with me here at the Road to Resilience with Teresa Marie will help you to learn how to anchor yourself in the bad times. Today, we've talked about the power of resilience and why it's important, the power of decision making and why it's important to make the right choices, and why it's important to live in the now and not get stuck in the past. I always like to tell people you can't put toothpaste back into the tube. So it's always time to move on. And I hope that you have found some value in our time today. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at teresamarie.coach. You can find me on my Facebook page at Create Your Own Story with Teresa Marie. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as Clubhouse. It's safe to say that you can pretty much find me on any social media platform. And I hope that you will tune in next time. And if you would like to be a guest on this show, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Or if you know someone who would make a great addition to interview, please let me know. And if you have a podcast and you would like for me to come onto your show, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I wish you all peace, health, and prosperity. Again, this is Coach Teresa with you on the Road to Resilience podcast with Teresa Marie. Bye now.